Hello. Today I'm making a video on the alternating series test. The alternating series is a series of the form, well, like this. This right here. Let's see. You got a -1 to some power, and then you got a little function on there. And of course, b sub n is going to be greater. It's a positive function. And so for this alternating series test to work, you got to satisfy two things. The first is that b sub n plus 1 must be less than or equal to b sub n for all n. And second, a limit of the series b sub n as n goes to infinity must equal 0. If it satisfies these two things, the series is convergent. So our first example here is the alternating series 3n minus 1 over 2n plus 1. So let's look at the first part of our test. b sub n plus 1 is less than or equal to b sub n. So if we put that in, it's pretty non-apparent which one, if this is true. So let's look at the limit instead. Okay, so the limit is 3/2, which is not equal to 0. So that tells you right there that the alternating series test failed. So that's too bad. At this point, you need to use a different test on this series because the alternating series test will not work. Alright, but the alternating series test does work for some problems, fortunately. So let's look at another example. The alternating series of this. Alright, so doing the first part of the problem. Oh, and when you do the alternating series test, you just disregard this -1 and whatever its power is when you're doing the tests. So the first part, b sub n plus 1 must be less than or equal to b sub n. So if we do that, then we're going to have 1 over 2n plus 2 is less than 1 over 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1. So obviously this denominator is greater than this denominator, which means that this is smaller than this. So satisfies the first part of our little test. And now let's take the limit of this as n approaches infinity. 1 over 2n plus 1 to n plus 1. Well, as n becomes infinitely large, this goes to 0. Hooray! So we've satisfied part 1 and part 2 of our little theorem, and we can conclude that the series is convergent. Yeah. So I'm doing this on my iPod, so just a note. You'd probably want to blow up the screen. I guess I should have said this at the start of the video, but you probably want to blow up the screen because I can't make this any wider.